Hello, I'm the Review Reviewer. You review it, I review you. This is my partner, Mr. A. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Spoony's review of The Dungeon Master.
Ah, hello. Due to an unfortunate transporter mishap, I'm afraid your normal host appears to be missing.
Ah, so it's a Dr. Insano review.
Ah, Dr. Insano, the world's most popular mad scientist stereotype. You know, I think just about every review show on the internet gets their own version of Dr. Insano eventually.
It works! It's over here! Well, hello, you poor super fool!
I was practically begging for that, wasn't I?
I am your worst nightmare!
Tap dancing clown in a prom dress named Bilbo?
What? No! Alright, I'm not sure what the furball said, but I'm pretty sure the answer's still no. I am the reviewer counterpart of the Insanoverse, Dr. Insano! And now, prepare to meet your doom.
Oh, really?
Oh, crap. You win this round, reviewer!
That's what I thought.
I could go looking for him, or I could take over his feeble-ass show and rake in the mad dollars. It's high time someone ran this show with discipline and efficiency. I've even found a better way to get gameplay footage for Final Fantasy X-2 without actually having to play it. Fuck it, I don't want to play anymore!
Okay, that is either insanely lazy or insanely brilliant. Yeah, or it could be both.
But today, I'd like to share with you a story about a movie I saw when I was but a lad. It's the 80s. I'm at a Blockbuster Video looking to rent a VHS tape, and I look, and I see this movie called The Dungeon Master, and I think, I'm a Dungeon Master. I like Dungeons and Dragons, and I read Tolkien all the time. But aside from Willow and Krull and God Help You, Hawk the Slayer, there aren't that many fantasy movies to see, really. Oh, but this movie must be about Dungeons and Dragons. It's called The Dungeon Master. Even the back of the box says it's about a hulking warlord who forces a guy to participate in a bizarre Dungeons and Dragons-like game.
That actually sounds pretty awesome.
It might have been. If this wasn't a cassette tape full of lies, this movie has nothing to do with the game. There are no dungeons in it, nor mastery by anyone thereof. Every person who ever rented this drivel only rented it because the title leads you to believe that this, in some minute way, is related to Dungeons and Dragons. Nobody would have ever rented this movie under its original title, Rage War. Pfft, Rage War. It sounds like what an asshole 14-year-old would name his crappy Metallica cover band.
Sounds more like a page of YouTube comments to me.
I hate this movie. I hate its lies. I wasted $1.99 renting this thing, and I will have my revenge. Right away, you know this movie's in trouble when it lists off 7 directors.
7?
And ironically, none of them are Alan Smithy.
Well, yes, but I'm 7.
Look, Paul, why don't I give you a ride home, huh? Come on, Don. You know I run every day after work.
Wait. An athletic nerd? This is science fiction. I'm serious. Who could possibly relate to a geek who enjoys sunlight?
I would find that very offensive if it wasn't completely true.
Anyway, this whole time we notice Paul adjusting his glasses, and every time he does, the light signals conveniently change to let him run past. That's our hero, blissfully causing horrific injuries and fatalities so he can get home slightly quicker.
Oh, please. You know you would have done the same thing.
So help me understand this. This guy has somehow designed an artificial sentience that can perfectly interpret visual data, troubleshoot computer hardware faults by sight, wirelessly hack traffic signals, and steal money from ATMs on command, but he still works as a lowly IT tech. I mean, hello? Patent it, sell it, make zillions of dollars! We've just established he has no money to buy groceries, but with his computer he can basically print the stuff. I mean, really? That's it? Traffic signals and ATMs, that's all you want to do with it? My science goggles do useful things that help me take over the world, like, I don't know, all sorts of things. Death rays, of course, telescopic vision, X-ray vision, hypno-vision, night vision, flashbang protection. It takes digital photos of like a zillion megapixels. It's got like a terabyte of MP3 space. It opens my garage door and works as a universal remote for my TV. And it's hooked up to Facebook and Twitter.
That baby will do everything but tell you what time it is.
It doesn't tell time?
No, there was so much stuffed into it, there was no more room for the clock.
Paul goes back home where we meet Gwen, his girlfriend. Or is she?
Let's get married. Look, it'll be perfect. I talked it over with Cal. It all adds
You
up.
talked it over with Cal?
Well, yeah.
God, why did this happen to me? How did I fall for a guy whose first love is a machine?
But I'm not in love with my computer. I am in love with you.
Oh, I've had this conversation a few times.
Why am I not surprised?
It's what gives me an edge.
Every time I think about that experiment you were involved in and how you were able to link up.
Whoa, stop the presses! What was that?
Every time I think about that experiment you were involved in and how you were able to link up.
What experiment? Was that backstory you just tried to blitz past me to explain the computer? Talk about hand-waving. You can't just gloss over a thing like the whole invention of an artificial intelligence you can also control with your mind. That's a fairly significant detail, douchebag.
Actually, when looking at the rest of the movie, does that even really seem relevant?
Hey, he can't link up the way we can.
You haven't seen some of the computer peripherals I've invented, have you? I call this one the floppy disk drive.
Ew.
Oh dear, what is this? The computer is watching them have sex. Look, its lenses burn with jealousy.
I'm just waiting for this to turn into a more extreme version of Weebo from Flubber.
At night he has a nightmare. He's in a ridiculous costume and his girlfriend is bathing in a waterfall with all her clothes on. What? Oh no! It's a mime nightmare! The worst kind! Any minute now he's going to be blown away by imaginary wind!
I remember the last time I had a mime nightmare. So many mimes. So many invisible boxes.
He wakes up in his smoky apartment only to be immediately teleported to another dimension, where Gwen is chained to a rock. I can only presume it's the Black Hole. That's when a wizard shows up and casts a dorky wardrobe spell on them. Gives Paul a weapon by turning his computer into a wrist-mounted thingy.
Hey, I like wrist-mounted thingies. It's just occurred to me that I might be a little childish.
I, Mestima, have devised 7 challenges. Lose one, just one, and I shall have both your souls.
Mestima? His name sounds like some kind of hemorrhoid infection, or some kind of weird tropical disease.
Hey, don't you have Mestima?
Me.
Oh, no, it was severe kidney disorder. Beep.
I think my favorite part of his costume is his giant 4-foot wingspan hang glider collar. Why can't I ever find a lab coat with one of those?
Because quite frankly, they are too stupid for retail.
I'm Paul Bradford from Cyrex.
So Paul gets zapped and awakens in a strange land for his first challenge, which is a couple of forest midgets sneaking up on him and stealing his computer, then running away. And this goes on for quite a while, really. Fear the midgets of Mestima! The midgets hide the computer near a giant monkey temple and continue to run away. Not really sure what the point of that was, but the monkey statue suddenly comes to life and attacks.
They were probably trying to lead him to the giant monkey statue so that it could finish him off.
Wait, hold on, what? He just fired a laser out of his computer thingy. Since when how did he know we could do that? Did he just make that up on the fly? Science does not work that way! You can't just make up science-y powers with no explanation like this. That'd be like me spontaneously throwing lightning bolts out of my fingers screaming, "Science!"
Oh, you mean something like this?
Your superconductor electromagnetism is nothing compared to science! But it is science! Well, I'm science here! Eventually, he manages to zap a laser straight into the jewel and kills it. Gosh, isn't this just like Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh yeah, except for the part where it's not.
Finally, he's confronted with a zombie of himself, which doesn't really do anything. It just sort of stares at him and vanishes. Huh.
How is it that you can destroy that which is your own destiny?
That creature was not my destiny.
This evil has possession it. In a future reality, I shall destroy you.
I reject your reality and I substitute my own.
I'm sorry. It's just that face.
Mistima gets pissed off and summons an animated dragon with his magic, so Paul summons his own purple dragon in the sky. Yes, Paul has a dragon summoning program loaded onto his computer.
Why not?
And they just sort of posture there and remain perfectly motionless for a few seconds before vanishing.
That's perfectly motionless?
Mistima's next challenge sends Paul to a Wasp concert. Yes, a Wasp concert. Mistima, you mad fool! What man could possibly withstand rock this awesome?
Not even the great titans themselves could handle it!
Apparently the band Wasp has Gwen kidnapped now, and they menace her by gently rubbing a machete on her thighs. Whatever gets you off, I guess. Oh, but Paul has a brilliant plan! He blows them up by zapping them with his computer! Are you sensing a theme here?
Yes, my pattern senses are tingling.
The next challenge seals our heroes in an icy cavern filled with statues of famous murderers like the Wolfman, Jack the Ripper,
This guy.
and Albert Einstein. Wait, what?
Looks like every criminal in the world is here.
What, did Einstein go on a killing spree I'm not aware of?
You really need to catch up on your history, dude.
Gwen starts to freeze solid until, she stops. And then the statues come to life, of course. Paul shoots the criminal samurai with his laser, drops the Ripper with a boulder instead of his laser, and then throws the crystal that Einstein's hand at the monsters, which explodes. Huh? I think I'm losing my mind again. Even worse than last time. Did Einstein just not file the patent for his ice crystal bomb? What the hell is going on?
They probably wouldn't give him the patent as payback for this.
And what is it you want to patent, Herr Smith?
I call it Smith's theory of relativity.
Hey, look at this.
What?
Mistima tries to get Paul to give up the challenge since his laser is pretty much killing everything.
Say the word and it ends.
The word is forget it.
Wait, sorry, that's 2 words, but you know what I mean.
2 words. You guys ain't heroes.
Oh, and let me tell you, the next challenge is a real break from routine. Gwen's in danger, so Paul has to run, and then zaps the killer with his laser. Then Mistima summons a demon, and Paul zaps it with his laser. Then he goes to Yours World, where he hears Gwen's in danger in a cave, and inside, there's a hideous goblin throwing explosive crystals at him, so he zaps it with his laser. I feel like I've watched the exact same scene a dozen times now. Maybe because I have.
Yeah, it is pretty annoying to be caught in an endless loop, 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 caught in an endless loop.
Okay, actually, he misses with the laser, and the monster just sort of causes the cave to collapse on itself. This is what's known in D&D as rolling a botch and fucking the whole encounter up.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, he still won. After all, a sloppy win's still a win.
Then they appear in some airplane graveyard, which I guess is supposed to pass for a Mad Max post-apocalyptic wasteland. Then some evil sand people drive up, led by a master blaster midget in a dune buggy, who just sort of gibbers at them and acts like an idiot. Well, he looks like Master Blaster to me. It's not my fault. They're the ones who can't get beyond Thunderdome. And what is with this movie's hatred of little people? This is, what, the 3rd time they've been menaced by evil dwarfs? I like little people. They have tiny hands, which are good at working on electronics. And when I take over the world, they'll be ideal for working in the mines.
You know, I can just see the world run by Dr. Insano now.
We dig in our mind the whole day through. To shove this dick up Insano's ass is what we'd like to do.
So they somehow get overwhelmed and disarmed by the dwarf, and see if you can guess how Paul gets out of this one. Well, go on. You'll never guess. Not in a million years. Paul's shown so much innovation and creativity solving all the problems up to this point, he's like freaking MacGyver. Guess how he does it? Go on. Guess! Guess!
Hold me.
I, the Excalibrate, challenge you to a real contest.
You have some trick up your sleeve, eh?
One man against one man. In this arena, no magic.
You cannot be serious.
My magic is powerful. All powerful.
Only mortals who risk losing can know real excitement.
His plan is to get Mystima into a fair fight by challenging the size of his dick. This is the dumbest thing a proper villain can do.
Well, yeah, but this is the 80s/90s. Back then, challenging the size of a man's dick was like blasphemous. You couldn't help yourself.
In desperation, Mystima tries to summon his magic to cause an earthquake, but it doesn't do anything except cause him to fall to his death. Dumbass. Paul's about to fall as well until his computer summons some kind of solid bar of light that he hangs onto to escape. Oh sure, why not? It does everything else. It's like a Green Lantern ring.
I'm not really sure you have any room to complain. I mean, it's not like any rules were ever established or anything.
The worst part of this is, I should love this movie. It's about a guy killing stuff with vague, undefined science, but it's just stupid and repetitive. Worst of all, it's deceptive. This should be about a dungeon master, or at least a rage war. Something. I wanted a Dungeons and Dragons movie. Why is that so hard? Where is my Dungeons and Dragons movie?
Ask and you shall receive.
Bruce Payne. Oh, it seems like a scientist's work is never done. Ugh.
Hypocrite.
So overall, this review is pretty enjoyable. But then again, it's always fun to see Dr. Insano go, well, insane.
I'm the reviewer. You review it, I review you.
Well, hello there, my friend. Eater, was it?
Hey, I know you. You're that mad doctor guy who barged in earlier. What do you want?
All I wish is to help you. You see, I've been doing some research on you and your colleagues, and it's come to my attention that you wish to host the reviewer show, do you not?
Yeah, would be nice. But as long as the reviewer and Mr. It are around, I'll never get a chance to host the show.
Well, personally, I think that you could far surpass the reviewer and make the show more popular than it ever was. If only the reviewer and Mr. It weren't here to host. You wouldn't have any ideas about how to get rid of them, would you?
I think I know how we can get rid of them.